Hey everybody, welcome to Life at Sunny Lea, and it's a bit noisy. It's spring, people are cutting grass. Can't do anything about that, so welcome to the channel, welcome to Sunny Lea. And I'm tired, really tired after this week. Sunday we went to church and then we went out to eat. Monday we went to get the Jeep. Remember, we took it in for a checkup. It turned out to be okay, so no big expense there, which was a blessing. And then on Tuesday, Bill left early in the morning, like 5:45 or something like that in the morning, to go to Purdue to go to some road school. And that meant I had the day pretty much to myself because Doug was working and Chris had his thing he was doing, and so I got a lot done. I did the usual stuff in the morning, and then I rotated the pantry, do that every month, cleaned out the fridge, turned the compost pile, cleaned and maintained all the fitness equipment. I watered the ceilings, the basement, went out and watered the greenhouse, watched 3 movies with Chris in the afternoon. Had to fix the side Ring camera. Now, I have to admit, these Ring cameras, sometimes they have their problems. They don't always notify me right away, but they're pretty good as far as the weather. This one had lost the gasket, and it got the water up inside of it and was frozen solid. I had to bring it inside, thaw it out, wipe all the water out, put in a new battery, and the thing worked. I was really pleased with it. But I could not find a gasket to fit it, so I used a rubber band. So hopefully the rubber band will work as a gasket to keep the water out of the camera. But anyway, I was happy that it worked out, that I was able to fix it without having to buy a new one. And I took fresh water out to the chickens and took feed out to them. And I had to fix my bottle tree. We had a windstorm come through on Sunday, and my little bottle tree went from nice and straight like this to curved. I mean, it bent at the bottom, and I had to take the bottles off and straighten it back out, and then I put the bottles back on. But I didn't put quite as many on. I kept 4 of my favorite ones I kept off of it because I didn't want them to get busted if it happens to have to bend over again. So I also renewed my amateur radio license, and that took forever. It took me like almost 2 to 3 hours on the computer doing that. First, I had to find all my passwords to get into the site, so I had to go up to the filing cabinet and look that up. And then the last time I renewed it, I did everything from that site. This time it sent me to another site to pay for it. You renewed it on one site, you paid for it on another site. And I had to create a password and account and everything for that site. So I finally got it done. And then Wednesday, Bill was still at Purdue. He came home that evening. And I didn't get quite as much done that day. I patched the 3 spots in the utility closet where I'd taken those adhesive things off. I patched those, and it was just the first coat. I have to wait for that to dry completely, and then I'll sand them down to make them even, and then I'll paint it. I haven't decided if I'm going to paint the whole closet or if I'm just going to make it decorative and put a stripe in it. I'm really thinking about a colorful stripe. We'll see. But I got to do that yet, finish that yet. And then I checked my credit card to make sure that the payment for the amateur radio had gone through, and it had. And then I filmed and edited a YouTube video, and I cleaned and rearranged and organized under the storage cabinet underneath the stairway. And that took most of the afternoon because there's quite a bit of space underneath that storage area that you have to clean out. So I got that done. And then on Thursday, I took 6 of the cats out to the Catico that day. And cleaned all the cat crates. And that takes a couple hours to do because there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 cat crates in there. And you have to clean them. Clean the bottoms of them. You vacuum the sides. And you have to clean all their water and feed dishes. And each one has at least 2 feed dishes, and one for dry food, one for wet food, and the watering dish. So they've got 3 dishes in them for each one of them. So that's a lot of bows to clean and get ready for them to come back in. And then I watered the greenhouse again, and I pruned the knockout roses, and I pruned the crepe myrtle that you see back there. I took the suckers off of it, and I took any broken limbs that had broken during the winter. I took those off, and any of the limbs going into the center of the plant that were new, I took those out. I also did it to the other 2 crepe myrtles that we have also. So I've got all them done, and the knockout roses here in front done. I still need to get some of the leaves and stuff off of the gardens here. I'll do that this coming week. What else did I do? Went to town and picked up 2 flea collars for the cats. I'm gonna need 5 flea collars, or 4 flea collars, depending on how many cats I have. Right now I have 10 cats, but there's a possibility that 2 of them are going to be finding homes. They have prospects, the 2 newer ones. So hopefully this will work out and those 2 will find new homes. And in that case I only need 4 flea collars, because I put 1 flea collar in a cat, and 1 flea collar per crate. That way I don't have to have 2 flea collars, because they sleep right next to each other and everything. So it's been what's been working for me in the last couple of years. It's just 1 collar per crate. And I had at one time I had put a collar on all of them, but Mitzi is not a collar wearer. She almost died with her collar. She got caught around her front paw and up around her face, and she couldn't move until I found her. And so I don't put a collar on her. Butterscotch, for some reason, gets his collar off every time. I can put a collar on him, and they recommend that you be able to put a finger between him. Well, put a finger between them and he gets them off. If it's any tighter, then it's dangerous. Same thing with Trouble. Trouble will not keep a collar on either. He manages to get it off. So there's no reason to pay $60 for a collar if they're not going to wear it. So I got 2 of the collars. I got to buy 2 more at least. And Walmart had a good deal on them. I was really pleased. Usually I get them at Tractor Supply or through Amazon, but Walmart had the better deal this time. And I always shop around for flea collars because they are so doggone expensive. Then on Thursday, got a bug. Thursday, Dusty got in trouble. First of all, she saw a bird and took off after it and dragged me halfway across the front yard after that bird. So I had to leave go of her. Luckily, there was no cars, but she ran all the way out to the greenhouses before she stopped, and I yelled for her before she stopped. She was just zoned into that bird until then. So I was a little leery about how I was going to do that, so I stuck a stake into the ground, and she's going to have to be on the stake even when we're playing games out here until she learns to not get so focused on birds. I don't know why it is lately. Birds have really gotten her attention. And then, so I had her in the crate for a little bit while I took the cats back and forth. And she dug a hole in her new, well, not new, it's 4 months old. But it was supposed to have been a guaranteed no-chew bed. It's zip tied to the crate so she couldn't pick it up and chew the edges. It had metal edges, and the fabric was supposed to be guaranteed that she couldn't chew it. She chewed a hole through the top layer. So I took it and I turned it upside down and zip tied it back in with the good side up, the bad side down, the good side up, thinking that would work to prolong its life. Wrong. She chewed through it again. So I had to take that completely out. So now she has no bed. She has to be on the wire crate, which is what the wire crate, and that's what it came with. It came just with the wire. So it's not like it has to have a bed in it. So anyway, like I said, she got in a little bit of trouble. And then on Friday, I weeded 4 of the front gardens in the outdoor gardens, because my strawberries and my potatoes, regular potatoes, and my onion sets had come. Now that's a story in itself. I have this application. It's called Shop, and it tells me when orders are coming and stuff. And it told me that a FedEx order had arrived. I did not get any text from FedEx, which I'm supposed to get because I'm on their list to do that. They did not send me a text saying it was delivered. They did not send me a picture saying it was delivered. So I had to go onto their site to find out where the package was, because it wasn't on the front porch. And they showed me a picture of the package next to a black pole. And it's like at 1 o'clock in the morning that we realized that we had a package. That's when I got notified. It was delivered at 9:30 at night. And Shop picked it up and told me at 1:30 or 1 o'clock. So we were out at 1 o'clock in the dark hunting for this package. And I wouldn't have worried about it so much, except it was live plants. And it was getting colder. And I did not want them to be outside in the cold overnight, or where the animals get to them and destroy them. Because we're talking 50 strawberry plants, over 100 onion sets, plus 2 pounds of potatoes, seed potatoes. Well, we finally found it all the way out, and I mean all the way out, to the edge of the road at the mailbox, which is past that stump of tree yet, still past that another 10 to 15 feet, inches from the road. I was not too happy about that at all. No notification, no bringing it in, just dumping it out by the road and taking off. Anyway, I found it. And my husband found it. And then Friday, I put the 50, I weeded those 4 beds. 2 of them are pure strawberries. 1 is strawberries and asparagus together. And the other one is a lemon balm garden bed. So I planted the strawberries in the first 3, the 2 strawberry ones and the ones with the asparagus. I planted the 50 plants among the ones that were still good from last year that had come up. And then I went out and I planted the onion sets in the low greenhouse. And I also planted some cabbage, some Swiss chard, some spinach, some Paris Island lettuce, and some 3 different types of kale. It's also seeded in there. So the greenhouse has all the cool weather plants already in it. Now we're just watering them every other day, or if it's super hot, every day, and waiting for them to come up. The beets and the turnips have just started to come up from where I planted before, so we're doing well on that. And then on Saturday we went to town and got the groceries, and that was about 8 out. That was about it. Came back home and just kind of relaxed. Took Dusty out for a while and walked with her, training her. And training's coming along fairly well. She's still has a little bit of resource gardening when it comes to rocks. If she gets a rock, she knows I'm going to take it out of her mouth, so she'll be a little aggressive on that, but we're getting there. We did have to go to the prong collar and the slip collar to walk her. She's independent or dominant. She's dominant. When you want to turn an inside turn, she's fine. But when you want to do an outside turn where you put your foot in front of her and push her to the side, she gets a little upset. So with the prawn color, she does beautifully. She doesn't get upset at all. She just follows you alone. And that's not unusual for a German Shepherd. I had used a prawn collar on shoes until she learned also. So we're getting there, slowly but surely, but things are working out. So hopefully this week will be a little bit calmer. I do have a couple appointments coming up, and I do have some things I'm going to work on. Still working on the decluttering. Remember that video comes out on Wednesdays on what I'm decluttering, organizing, and cleaning that week. We're doing this step by step, 15 minutes a day to get the house back into a organized, decluttered mess. So like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everybody.